Remember, no Russian.
5 years ago, I lost 30,000 men in the blink of an eye. And the world just fucking watched.
Whiskey Mikey outside is coming back ineffective! We're totally pinned down! They're coming in at any second now!
We have a nuclear missile launch! Missile in the air! Missile in the air! Code black! Code black!
Girls! Come in! This is Price! We're under attack by Shepard's men in the boneyard! So, hold the left flank! Do not trust Shepard! I say again, do not trust Shepard! So, get down! When they find out by, all Russia cry for war.
Modern Warfare 2, the game which is most famous for trick shots, no scopes, montages, new perks and upgrades, taking kill streaks to the next level, the list goes on. But the actual darkness surrounding the game doesn't get the recognition it deserves, which is why in this video I will be breaking down in points on what made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 so dark. Number 1. A mission without mercy. When you start the campaign in Act 1, you feel like it's a normal introduction to a Call of Duty game, quite similar to its previous chapter in the series, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. You start off training, shooting targets, having a look round at the camp, the usual stuff. However, once you get to mission number 4, this all changes very quickly. I remember the first time playing this when I was very young, and I still find it amazing how things turned crazy and quite scary almost all of a sudden. This was the first time ever in the series that Call of Duty added a warning and a skip feature before the mission started. They had anticipated the news coverage and potential backlash they would endure because of this, and they did get some.
A popular new video game actually allows you to be a terrorist and kill people. Take a look.
But they had balls to have a mission in there like this, because nowadays this would not get included. Also, the very fact that it had this skip option made everyone else more curious as to what could be that bad, right? Oh no. For the sake of warning everyone who doesn't want to watch the gameplay of the No Russian mission, please stop this video and fast forward on the timeline. Or if you haven't played this game yet and would like to, click off this video now. After impressing General Shepard in the second mission of Act 1, he tells you that you will be receiving direct orders from him now. But what you don't realise is that you are sent to Russia to be undercover in Makarov's network. And the first test you have to do is brutal. To make sure your cover isn't blown, you have to do what Makarov instructs you to do, and that is shooting innocent civilians. You witness the horrors going on inside this airport, people trying to help each other, people trying to hide, security trying their best to shoot the attackers. It was all a shock, and whilst you go through the airport and eventually have to face their forces, you think you've done it all to earn Makarov's trust. But that changes as he plays the biggest Uno reverse card ever.
No, шевелитесь, get in. We've sent a strong message with this attack, Makarov.
That was no message. This is a message.
He double bluffed you. And it's at this end scene where you think, I've just done all of that to then be found out and now know that World War III is about to happen before I die. Scary. Number 2. The invasion. As a result of the no Russian mission, a retaliation was expected, but not quite like this. At the start of Act 2, Mission 1, you are shown this cutscene right at the start.
Sierra Delta, repeat.
I'm looking at fighter jets over I-95! How the hell did they get through?
For the first time ever in a Call of Duty series, the United States of America is invaded.
Get out of the seat!
And this leaves me with such a weird feeling. Right at the start of the mission, you can see loads of Russian paratroopers and jets flying all across the dark red sky across America, with radio chatter of what seems like people panicking, and rightly so. You can see loads of American flags outside of people's houses, but yet it's like America for a split second has fallen. This level of combat never reached the United States, but it has now. And the weird feeling I get is walking past ordinary people's homes, which are now empty. We are walking past people's gardens and inside their homes, and in a way, these homes have lives, but not anymore. It's now just abandoned. And that's just a concept which doesn't sit right with me. It's a funny feeling. Even when going into restaurants, bars, banks, and seeing the chaos of what has happened, it just gives off a really strange and weird vibe, like your mind can't really comprehend what it would be like if this did happen. Not only is your objective to fight the Russians and take back control, but you now have to evacuate the civilians who are caught up in this fight. But this soon escalates as the unthinkable happens. The Washington Monument, the White House, and the National Mall is under attack. As you're in the bunker, all you can see is death and wounded soldiers everywhere, and you get the immediate scene that everything is just not going to plan. As soon as you step outside, you can see the Washington Monument broken, severely damaged, but still standing. This is the evac site for the civilians, and we have to get them out of there. As you storm through the trenches towards the National Mall, all you can see is your fellow soldiers being gunned down and exploding. Whilst you make your way through the mall, you have some quite heavy moments where you can see your fallen troops inside, and it's just eerie.
Be advised, we're inside and proceeding to the upper floors. Roger, Overlord copies all.
This leads to probably one of the most haunting elements of this game, because it actually took me years after its release for me to find this out. Mainly because this was cut from the game upon release, and you'll see why. As you approach this area where you're able to provide covering fire for the Washington Monument evac site, your order is to provide backup. Initially, I'd done this to the instruction and followed it through normally, but if you don't provide support to the evac site, the original plan was that you would have heard these uncut audio files in a sequence where the team at the Washington Monument let you know how bad the situation is getting.
All call signs on this net. This is the Washington Monument evac site. We're holding our own, but have blast enemies to the west and are taking fire from that direction. Request you engage all enemy targets west of the Washington Monument. I repeat, request you engage all enemy targets west of the Washington Monument. Over. We are taking major casualties, military and civilian. Request you engage targets west of the monument. Over. All call signs, be advised, we are taking concentrated fire at the evac site and are losing vehicles and armor. We are down to 60% combat effectiveness. Over. Washington Monument evac site taking heavy fire. We're down to 50% combat effectiveness. We gotta get more fire support or this evac site's gonna fall. Over. All call signs. This is the Washington Monument evac site. Be advised, our situation is critical. We can't take much more of this. We need more time to get these cities out of here. We are taking heavy casualties at the evac site. We can't sustain much more damage. All call signs be advised. We got civilians taking up arms to defend the evac site, but they're totally untrained. We're on the verge of being overrun. We need help now! Whiskey Mike evac site to all call signs. Enemy is pounding rapidly on our position. We're hanging on by a thread here. Over! All call signs be advised. Whiskey Mike evac site is combat ineffective. We're totally pinned down. They're coming in at any second now. Enemy troops are inside the evac site. Repeat, enemy troops are inside the evac site. We lost the cities. No!
You can see why this was cut from the game. It is strange though how that was cut, but not the no Russian mission, but either way, I get it. After you make it to the rooftop to assist from the air, you are shot down and are quickly gathering your senses back. Seemingly outnumbered, you are holding your position, but just about, because something scary happens. This leads me on to point number 3, Blackout. In the mission Contingency, you are dropped into Russia with Captain Price to reach the submarine with the intel you have got. This mission has shades of All Giddied Up from COD 4 as you sneak past patrols to get to your objective.
Patience. Don't do anything stupid. Patience. Don't do anything stupid.
After the fighting, once you have to go loud, you end up covering Captain Price as he enters the submarine and you hold your position. However, Price does something desperate to stop the American invasion without realising its consequences.
The silo doors are opening on the sub. Price, come in. They're opening the silo doors on the sub. Come on, hurry! Price, do you copy? The silo doors are open. I repeat, the silo doors are open.
Good.
What? Wait, Price, no! We have a nuclear missile launch. Missile in the air. Missile in the air. Code Black. Code.
Here you are again, like Deja Vu. You are repeating this scene again where you are holding your position. It's the same script. However, you then switch to a satellite feed in space. For the first couple of seconds, it feels surreal and actually quite beautiful, but this soon changes very fast. You are asked to check over to the dark side of the Earth, and when you do, you can see a nice little surprise just flying around. Maybe it's doing a private tour for some people, or maybe it's just a shooting star making its way around. Oh no. Captain Price, what have you done? What then happens is quite honestly up there in one of the most iconic moments in COD history. We had our first EMP.
What the hell's going on? Don't stop, keep moving. Holy shit! Go, go, go! Look out! Go, go!
Just when you thought the battles in Washington were dark enough, now we have things falling from the sky. Some really cool details in this mission is that once the EMP drops, you have no red dot sight. If you pause the game, your map has no signal. And inside this Russian armoured tank, you can hear troops trapped inside with no way of getting out due to the electrics crashing.
We want those guys inside.
What about them? I got our 6. Go.
It really makes you think, what would happen if an EMP actually dropped? How would we cope and survive? It's a really dark and quite humbling thought. Not to mention the fact you are storming through the White House and seeing all these historical and important parts of the White House like you see on TV and in movies. It feels surreal. By the time you have signalled the flares at the end, it's honestly just crazy seeing the monument in the distance, knowing that we've been battling throughout the United States of America. Number 4, Shepard's Betrayal. Probably one of the moments where boys became men, and men began to cry. because nobody saw this coming, and sorry in advance for bringing this up for all the OGs. This was a tough one. Whilst you're playing through the campaign, you sort of just go along with what Shepard's saying over the radio because you naturally assume that he's on your side to help you win the fight.
Rangers, lead the way! Move!
Shepard to those fighters to ceasefire immediately. That was too close.
I'll try to buy you some time. One man in a gulag doesn't mean much to the Navy at this point.
Bloody Yanks. I thought they were the good guys.
That's one of the main reasons why it comes as a huge shock, because we are left with a giant question mark above our heads whilst seeing this tragedy unfold right in front of us. Us witnessing the death of two of our beloved characters.
You have the DSM. We got it, sir.
Good. That's one less loose end.
No!
Later on, we find out the reason why General Shepard turned rogue and created his own corrupt army was because of the amount of troops he lost when the nuke was set off 5 years ago, when in the Middle East.
5 years ago, I lost 30,000 men in the blink of an eye. And the world just fucking watched.
He wanted vengeance, and some could argue justice for what happened. The moment we see Shepard betray us, and then the scene where the bodies are being burned, it has so much impact on the person playing.
Do not trust Shepard. I say again, do not trust Shepard. Get down!
Which also leads me onto my next point. Number 5. The soundtrack. You know it's going to be fire when you hear the name Hans Zimmer touch anything. I still find it amazing how he composed the soundtracks for this game, and some of the tracks have got to be up there with being the most memorable ones in the franchise. The music here with Shepard's Betrayal fits so perfectly and carries such weight behind it. With the mission of their own accord, as you leave the bunker, you just feel a part of it. You feel sad, you feel shocked, you feel ready to do your duty. This track gives such a good blend of emotions. Along with the actual ending music where you see Price and Shepard fighting 1v1, the track adds such desperation and suspense. It's brilliant. The story and Hans Zimmer on the track went hand in hand. Number 6. The Killstreaks. Modern Warfare 2 saw the introduction of new Killstreaks, giving you the choice of what ones you want to pick. Whilst some of these were fairly tame and standard, there are a certain few which still trigger my PTSD to this day. Firstly, we have the AC-130 and the absolute horror of the screeching rounds they fire was enough to make me cry. Secondly, we have the famous nuke countdown. As soon as you see the counter appear at the top of your screen, everyone just stood still because there was nothing you could do.
It's over!
I will give a shout out to the stealth bomber because just like in real life, you can't hear this thing coming. and it appears out of nowhere, and before you know it, you're running looking for cover as this series of bombs will be raining down on you. This game brought so many new things to us. It really had everything. Collectively, with the setting of the story, the extreme lengths of controversy the developers went to, the ambience, the gameplay itself, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is truly a masterpiece and will forever be in the Hall of Fame for games. What things stood out to you guys the most in Modern Warfare 2? Comment down below, as I would love to read them. If you like this video, make sure to check out the creepiness of Call of Duty World at War. You can click the screen now. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and a comment, and to be kept up to date with future videos, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Cheerio.